want to bring in Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal. And Senator, it's good of you to join me because you and I talked last night right after the president spoke. And since getting up this morning, I opened the local newspaper here, Senator, and I don't know if you can see this, but it's 2 pages of obituaries. And of course, most of them are the pictures of little children. And you cannot look at that. And these are people in a community that you know. What can be done about this, Senator? What are you willing to commit to this morning to see that something like this can't happen again?
I think that there are a number of measures that are achievable and necessary, although we have to keep in mind that no single one of them is a panacea that's going to solve this problem. An assault weapon ban, such as we had in the United States some years ago, it expired in 2004, is a good place to begin. A restriction on high-capacity magazines. This killer entered the school, blasted his way into it with multiple magazines of 30 rounds each, with bullets that could blow apart human beings. And then, of course, better enforcement of the laws that we have now. We need to devote the resources to the police and the AT&F and other agencies that have responsibility for gun violence prevention. National health efforts, restrictions perhaps on some kinds of ammunition, on certain kinds of body armor, if that is an option as well. So I think there are a number of measures, and I would commit to a program that is sensible and common sense. My colleague Joe Manchin has taken a very significant step in the right direction. I think his commitment is a sign that the national debate and discussion have been transformed by this horrific incident because, in part, it does involve 6- and 7-year-old children, 20 of them, who were on their way to making gingerbreads or learning their ABC. And I think that this kind of horrific incident can be a turning point.
We've heard from other of your colleagues. Senator Schumer, for example, wants restrictions on bullet clips. Just this morning, we heard from Senator Lieberman. He had said yesterday he was pushing a national commission on violence, but it does seem like the timing here is crucial. Here's what Senator Lieberman said less than an hour ago.
I made this proposal yesterday because I don't want us to lose the hurt and the anger that we feel now and our resolve to do something. And often time dulls the hurt and anger, and gun control measures are put into Congress and boxed up, and we go on until the next tragedy.
I was just having this conversation with James Fallows, Senator. Do you think there is a window of opportunity, and how critical is the timing here?
There is a window of opportunity, and it needs to be seized. We need to galvanize the country, and it will be the country ultimately standing up and speaking out that will change the debate. The outrage and grief that is felt so widely now can really change the arc of the debate, the kind of mood and tenor that we've seen so far. But the moment needs to be seized, and I agree that we need to build on the kinds of support that has been forthcoming, whether it's from Joe Manchin or the statement very powerfully made by Joe Scarborough earlier this morning. That kind of change of heart and change of mind reflects the gravity of this situation and the essential visceral sense that people have.
And let me ask you very quickly, Senator, because you did mention at the top that no one thing is going to be a panacea, and it is not just gun control. There are conversations about how we treat the mentally ill in this society. There's been talk about societal changes that maybe need to take place in terms of how much we expose our children to violence. There are some indications that the shooter here seemed to have an affinity for extremely graphically violent video games. What about the bigger picture, even beyond gun control?
Beyond gun control, there are the cultural aspects of violence in our society, whether it's video games or movies. That kind of debate is healthy for society to have. No single right is absolute. The First Amendment is not an absolute right, nor is the Second, but both are deeply enshrined in our Constitution. And I want to make clear that no one is talking about eliminating or even substantially restricting rights. What needs to be done is a balance, and in addressing the cultural and the other kinds of elements of our society that need to be addressed, I think that a sensitivity to those rights has to be maintained. And of course, finally, the mental health issues. You know, we need to be sensitive to reaching out, providing treatment, detecting mental health issues before they culminate in this kind of horrific incident.
Senator Richard Blumenthal, I know that these have been many long days and nights for you as well, and it's kind of you to stay to talk to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.